I'm opening portal.azure.com. Okay, so hope you guys are aware of this, right? So you would have used this, right? Okay, okay. So Azure portal is a place where actually the environments are also deployed and other stuffs. Okay, and in past, okay, we have been trying with Azure Data Factory and Azure SQL Server, and you see here we have been doing some logic apps and other things, which is as part of the session we'll be doing it. Right. Coming back to this scenario. Okay, so here what we have to do, we have to go back and create a web app. Okay, so we type here on more services. Okay, I'll just go to the Azure Active Directory, which has been named now as Entra ID. So it was a bit confusing, like a Microsoft Entra ID. Yeah. So then I'll go to the app registration area. So this is a place which says that, hey, this is my Azure Active Directory. In this Azure Active Directory, I want any third-party application to come and communicate. Then I want to do a new registration here. Okay, so here I'll just say it's going to be expert B2, and here you can define accounts in this organization directly. Okay, only these people can access, or any people can access, or any personal account can access, like Gmail or whatever. Okay, Microsoft accounts, or only Microsoft account only can access. That you can restrict one level of security here. Okay. So I'll just say like, hey, only the people in my company can access this. That is fine here. Then it's going to choose a platform. I'm just going to say, okay, it's going to be a web-based platform where it is going to ask a URL with authentication. Auth it asks for. So basically, I'll just copy my Dynamics URL and say, this particular web app registration I'm going to make and give me a rights only when a people comes and access from this particular URL, and you provide an authorization for them by AUTH. I'll just add it at the last right here. Okay. That's what it says. Okay. Then I'll go for register. This is the basic information. So then I get into it. Okay. Now, within this, now the people are trying to access the system by using this URL, correct? So for that extra level security, we have to say that there is a API permission available. So we need to add a permission. So what kind of permission they'll be getting? So this is not even gone into Dynamics. Okay, we are not speaking about security roles, nothing. Okay. So there is an option here called Dynamics ERP available. We can click on it. There are two levels of permissions available. One is delegated permission. So currently I'll just give a full access. Okay, but regarding to whatever you want, you can just define it actually. I'll just say full access for custom service and other thing. This is the main one because we are dealing with custom service actually. Okay, add permission. And again, I'll add a permission for ERP for an application permission. Connector with the full access. Again, this is the important one. Okay? It's a connector with the full access. Add permission. Out of this connector is what, like, okay, it's a threatful information because like anyone who has a connection and they can crack your system, they can just directly get into this. So it requires an admin consent. If you are not a admin in your domain, that is like I'm the admin in sinacloud.com, so I can go ahead and do authentication myself. But if you are not an admin, so you'll have to contact your system administrator, and you have to give them the screenshot saying, hey, like I created a web registration app. Can you please go and grant me permission for this? And I'm going to use this for so and so purpose. They'll validate it and say grant consent, admin consent, say yes. Now all will be granted with the consent. Now we are freely allowed to access the service. Okay. Now how to communicate further? So we need to get a few tokens and other things from here. First, I need to say this particular service will be connected by using a client ID. So I'll copy this client ID and keep it with me. I'm just noting down in other one. So I'll just show you. Like I'll just copy the client ID. Next, I need to copy the tenant. So to which tenant I'm going to log in. So the tenant ID is nothing but this one, directory tenant ID. It says your domain ID basically. Okay. So I'm just going to have a tenant ID. Next, I need to create a secret. Secret is nothing but kind of a password. Okay. So that can be created right here. You can go to certificates and secrets. And in the client secret, you can create. And you can say that hey, this secret will be valid for how many days? It will be valid only from this particular time to this particular time. So let's say you have a third party vendor who's coming in and he says that, hey, I need an access to your system to communicate with your system for a 1 month period, actually. So then you can have a control here actually stating, hey, I'll be giving you 1 week access. You just confirm like this. So after this 29, they'll not be able to access the service. It's like that. Okay. So basically, if you are the development and other things, okay, you can recommend it and you can just validate it for 180 days. That's a minimum recommended period. I can say that this is nothing but a secret. And say add. Okay. Now, after adding, they will be giving a password, automatically generated password, and it says that, hey, this will be expired on August 22nd. Now, I'm going to copy this value as well. The value, not the secret ID. Okay. I'll just copy the value also from here and keep it with me. Client secret, that is. Next, with all this information, to which URL I'm going to get it connected to. So that is nothing but this URL.
This certificate is mandatory.
Yes.
Okay.
It's a username and password. This is going to be the username and this is going to be the password. Okay, I'll just go back here. Say resource URL. Okay. Fine. So now these are the 4 parameters I captured currently. Okay. Now let us try to understand what are these 4 parameters. To access this URL, okay, which is part of the particular domain, I need to use this particular username and password. Okay. And how does a dynamic security come in here? Because I never communicated with dynamics. I didn't say that, okay, which role this particular person belongs to and all, what he can access. Okay. To do that, we have to copy this particular client ID and we have to go back to dynamics and specify that the user with this particular client ID will be part of this role. Okay. So where you can go back to system administration. There will be an option here called Entra ID. Previously, it was Azure Active Directory applications, but now they changed the name. We'll try and see where is it. Yeah, it is Microsoft Entra ID application. Okay, click on it. Now it says that I'm going to create a new token. This client ID is going to be created for export B2 purpose. Now this will be linked to a particular user and that user will be linked to a particular role, right? So whenever a request comes from outside, that will be processed as this particular user. So have you heard about impersonation concept? Whenever I go in, I will act as that particular person. So whenever a request comes, it will act as this particular person now. That's what it means. Okay, save it. So you can assign it to a particular role and you will be having a service account created and all, right? So, and you can assign as many roles you want to this particular person. So what are the roles he is capable of? Those many access will be given outside. Other than that, if you try to access it, it won't be available. And you can add or remove at whatever point of time, the rules, but the user will remain the same. Does it make sense? So we done with the 2 steps now. One is in finance and operation, and the second we created in Azure.
If some bad job or some grid service is calling, then what should be the user ID in that case? Like,
That's what I said. Like, see, you're going to build an external timesheet application, let's say.
yeah.
Okay. So for timesheet application to access, you will be having a set of tables that will be defined, right? Okay. And that tables you will be passing on to a security privilege. That privilege you will be assigning it to a role. Let's call timesheet service role.
Correct.
So you create a new user and associate the timesheet service role and attach that user here. So a person, and you are going to give this client ID for a timesheet based service. Whenever a timesheet based service is going to use your system, they can access only the timesheet data.
Mhm. Okay. Understood.
In future, if you want to say that, hey, I wanted to give the expense data also, then add one more role into it, or okay, add one more privilege into the same role, and that will be exposing the expense data also to that particular timesheet app
Okay.
externally.
Okay.
For the here I have one small query.
Mhm.
I want to provide this service for my entire Dynamics users. How we can achieve that in this scenario?
You want to provide for all the users, is it?
Yes, yes. Not
Yeah. Users is fine. So then, are you speaking about admin user, administrator role?
not only administrator role, but this is like generic information. They can generate the data. Okay, in that case, I want to provide for my entire user, Dynamics users.
That's okay, no
In this,
problem. So you create a new role called timesheet app role, whatever.
okay.
Attach it to all the users, whomever you want. Like then it will be available.
Oh,
Basically,
we can
this is
achieve that.
yeah.
Okay.
Create one role, associate to everyone,
Oh,
and
okay.
except the admin users. Currently, if I select this admin one, this is admin user basically.
Mhm.
So he does not require any roles. If he is an admin, he can do anything he wants.
Correct.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Thanks for how we can achieve that. I got it.
Yes.
Okay.